Okay, welcome back, everybody. This is February 16th. This is our afternoon session. And the next item on our agenda is a discussion with the Payette National Forest. Crowdsville District Ranger David, get my glasses on, Hogan.
Yep, Hogan, Hogen.
So I'll turn it over to you, David, and welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you can just call me David.
Okay.
It's great. I know Jenny Blake might be calling in, so if we hear another beep, or make sure we get her if she does.
I think she's already on.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Very good. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and take the opportunity. It's not as good as being in person, but it's still something I didn't want to delay any longer. I got here taking Anthony Botello's place, and then Jenny was acting before I was selected, and yeah, so I wanted to make sure I got the communications flowing with me as the new Craftsville District Ranger, and so I have Anthony's old cell phone number, so I can give that to you, but if you already have it by chance, but
Why don't you give it to us again, and then we'll have it for the record.
yep, basic thing like that, 208-634-9286.
Perfect.
And so, just so you guys know, a little bit about me, and then, like I said, then we'll see if you got questions, but I know Jenny has a couple updates too, and mine was more of introductions on my end, and then if I got stuff to follow up on, I can do that. But, so I've been in the Forest Service, probably 25 plus years. I was a district ranger over in Wyoming before I came here. I was over there on the Bighorn National Forest, which is northern Wyoming. Was there 10 years. My wife's from Valley County. My son was born in Valley County. We had a chance to put in to come back here. I did work on the Payette when I was in undergrad and grad school. University of Idaho grad, don't hold it against me.
I won't.
The issue people.
That's a good school. You did right. That's okay.
Nope, you're from the wrong place.
There you go. It used to be easy to, root for the Vandals back in the day when we beat BSU, but I know we stopped playing them obviously because they're so good. But anyways, fortunate to come back, passionate about working with people. I had a great relationship with the county commissioners in Bighorn County there in Wyoming. A lot of that I felt was based on open communication and trying to, make sure we're at least hearing each other out and seeing where we're going and balancing the needs of the folks in the area with those that come from all over the country to love our national forest. So currently bought a piece of land. Lucky for me, I fell into something with a family friend or a buddy of mine, and that's tough for people to come to Valley County right now, as you guys know and everybody knows, to make it work. So we're gonna be building a house hopefully this summer and be Valley County residents again. So that's background on me. I don't know if you have any initial questions.
Well, welcome back to Valley County. It's a great place to live. And I too remember the Vandals beating Boise State, but I think they wore leather helmets back then.
That was a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago.
Um,
And so the three county commissioners I'm talking to today, it's Elton, Sherry, and Dave, correct?
Yep.
Okay, very good. I did a little homework, but not a ton, but I wanted to verify that. And,
Well, and then the guy that really runs the shows, our clerk, Doug Miller, he's here as well too.
very good. Yeah, Doug got me set up for today. Like I said, I was hoping to be there in person, and we'll all get our chance for that, but we're still doing as much virtual as we can and doing our part. So, if you don't have anything, I guess, more about my background, I'd say let's let Jenny give her kind of timely stuff, and then if there's more for me to be thinking about, aware of, or maybe we can do it that way. Does that sound good for everybody?
That works for me.
Okay, well, that sounds good to me. So I just wanted to provide a couple of updates and I appreciate being able to kind of jump in here and I thank Dave for setting this up and allowing me to jump in. But I just wanted a couple of things. We are, hopefully within the next week or two, we'll send out a scoping letter for a couple of projects, recreation trail projects for Bear Peak and Ruby Meadows, relocation. So I just wanted to give you all a heads up about that. Dave may already know some about that, but,
Yep.
so just to,
Relocation?
yeah, just to keep you in the loop, and if you have any questions or concerns about that, and I did not send a map, I didn't get anything really together, and I'm sure Dave is pretty well informed, but, do you have any questions or concerns? They're both relocations. One is in the steep section on the Bear Peak Trail and, adding, I think, a couple switchbacks, and the other is on, and they're both the two-wheel motorized trails, and the other is out of Ruby Meadows and, relocating out of the meadow and getting rid of some, dilapidated, bridges and punches and trail structures and trying to get it onto a stable flow.
Is Ruby Meadows out in Scott Valley?
No, it's off 71 Line Road, connects over to Loon Lake.
Oh, okay.
Just past or right before Bird
Yeah,
Park
it's
Terminal?
in Idaho County, but I figured you, I mean,
Okay.
you will also get questions about that, so, yeah.
So Jenny, when
Well,
are,
thanks for keeping
when
us
are
up to
those?
date.
She won't be able to hear me. This summer.
Okay, yeah, the plan is to implement this summer.
So I'm not sure you asked whether Steve or David, but who's gonna be, since David's from Cratsville, is he gonna be kind of more over the Midas Gold stuff and all that, or is he gonna be involved?
That would be Dave.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, if we get, wherever we get down the road, that would be, yeah, on the Crossville Ranger District. I mean, at this stage right now, it's at the forest supervisor level, working with the team there. So, Linda Jackson's our forest supervisor, and Kevin Knesick is our deputy forest supervisor tied to the Stibnite Gold Project.
Well, I think they just changed their name to Perpetua. So it's not even Midas Gold anymore. That was in the news this morning, I believe,
Oh,
which I don't know one way or the other, but we might be in discussion or might need your help, David, on some of the stuff that the county's gotta talk to Midas Gold about, especially roads and access.
okay.
I also serve on the Roadless Commission, and there's some concerns about, I think it's called Lookout Peak Trail. It's in the roadless area that folks in Yellow Pine really want that, and so we just gotta be in touch, and communication is the key, I think, in all of this, so. Looking forward to working with you.
Great, yeah, I can definitely, put people together that we need to for that stuff, so. Very good heads up on that, yeah, those are kind of things that I'm looking for today, and if there is something super specific, I can probably still have to get back to you. I mean, it's the learning curve, even if I have worked here before, get to know all these projects intimately, so.
Do they have any projects planned for the Crossville district as far as any kind of trail maintenance or any kind of forest health product or project?
Dave, did you hear that?
I
think they
wasn't
can-
able to hear that, sorry.
They can't hear me on the phone.
You wanna ask again? Come on up.
Sorry, we're social distancing in here too. So do you guys have any trail maintenance, work that you're planning in the Crossville area? Something that, you know, the groups around this area could maybe help with? And secondly, do you have any forest management product or, projects that are looming?
Okay, yeah, I mean, each year we have, trail maintenance projects. I mean, if there's, I can get you in, I can take whoever's name this is and if the people are wanting to do volunteer work or a group, like Public Lands Day for like Trail Day, of, like where we're sending people to, gather. I can get some of that information. We do hire a trail crew. We've got backcountry rangers out doing their trail clearing. So, I think there's different ways to engage. Yeah, I don't have anything specific of this trail on this day project, but if there's one that's somebody's mind, or if you wanna find out when it's scheduled to get maintained roughly and let people know.
Sure, Dave, this is Sherry Moppin, Commissioner Moppin.
Okay,
So my husband helped to found the group CITRA, which is the Central Idaho Trail Riders Association. And historically, they've gone into that area and done a lot of trail maintenance, but Anthony was pretty particular about allowing them in. And so I'm curious as to what your thoughts are on that. It's a great collaborative effort when we can put our groups together with the Forest Service so that we're not stepping on each other's toes and we're collaborating instead of trying to do things different or separately.
Okay, I don't probably have the specifics for today, but I got some notes there on, kind of learning the role of how the different folks are, working together on trail maintenance and trying, not to trip over each other. Like you said, do it in a coordinated effort. Be glad to go for it, Danny.
Yeah, I'll just add, so, Citra works both on the call and Castle District, and I know and think that it's, incredibly helpful throughout the years, and I think they continue to be. And I know that they work directly with Dave's staff and my staff to plan and coordinate. I think, the biggest thing is, we're trying to make sure we get everybody on the same page, get that coordination, and both our staffs are, we're missing some key positions, and we have been over the last year or so it makes it a little bit more difficult, but we're hopefully going to start getting those filled and be able to have that more communication and more involvement. And specifically, we on the call district, we were able to hire last year our trails coordinator position, which was really helpful to us. That's why we've been able to put in for some grants, and I think Citrus supported us on those for some of the grants that we put in for some trail bridges and things like that. So we'll continue that coordination and with all our partners. I mean, we can't do it without the partners by any means.
That's great, Jenny. And we've talked a lot in the last 10 years about the silos that we live in up here, and nobody really knows what the other guy's doing. And we've talked about a joint calendar, something where there's a list, and I don't know if the Forest Service ever got there or not, but something that states we're going to be on this trail on this date so that all the groups can plan around that and collaborate. Do you guys have anything like that,
Well,
a working calendar?
Yeah, we don't have a calendar, but what we do have is that it's like a story map on our page, on our Forest Service page that shows the last time it's been maintained and who it's been maintained by, and then I think it actually says what we're going to do before, what else we're going to do. But generally, we like to know, have that conversation with our partners to make sure that we aren't double doing things. And so, we work with Steve Lacey quite a bit, and checking in with him and getting a schedule of what their plans are early, and then we try to work with him and around those. And there again, sometimes we do have to be on the trail a couple times just because of additional downfall, or somebody doesn't have the skills to do all the maintenance and send a crew back to do some of the more intensive maintenance. So, I think it's more about that constant communication, and we still need it to be run through our staff just to make sure that we aren't stepping all over each other. But I do feel that, in general, we're doing pretty good. And when you look at our that story map on our website, and I can send you the link. It really is great. And we, like I said, we can't do it without the partners.
That's great. I love that collaboration. Dave's got it up here, so no worries. He's on it.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Good, thanks, Dave.
So like you can mouse over it, you can see who did it when,
That's awesome.
if it's proposed.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Jenny and Dave.
Can I ask one?
Oh, we have one question in the audience from our rec director, Larry Laxton.
Hey, guys. To bring up one of the greatest times of my life, 8 years of Big Creek Yellow Pine collaboration. I'm just curious if we could get an update. I know I get calls from some of the people that were in the collaborative on what is being accomplished. And I'm being told that nothing at this point, but I know everything takes time. So it'd be nice if you could just give me an update down the road on where we are. And we need to start discussing the East Fork too. So, thank you.
Okay, so that was that Larry Laxton, is that
Yes.
Larry?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hit big picture, and Jenny, if you can maybe fill in when you're doing your acting. So I'm aware of the 3 different ramp projects, Big Creek Ramp we're out there implementing. My staff has put together grant proposals, partnership, proposal type deal to go implement aspects of some of the stream crossings. I know there's I think it's a bridge out there on South Brook Smith that's gonna be for travel by all vehicles, the TOV type deal. So that's in the works for Big Creek Ramp area. South Fork Ramp, we're still waiting to hear from the injection response official down in the regional office. I did check on that just today. So we're at the objection stage. People are reviewing the work that's put into that. Hopefully any day now we'll get clarity on that. And then we're still trying to complete our ESA Section 7 consultation with Fish and Wildlife Service and NOAA Fisheries. So hopefully, April, I'm anticipating Linda Jackson, our forest supervisor, if all things are green-lighted, that's when we get decisions signed, would be decision 1, decision 2 for South Fork Ramp, either for the end of April or early May. So some of those things that need contracts to go implement this summer, they aren't going to hit that window. So some of maybe the bigger projects won't happen this summer under South Fork Ramp. And then East Fork Ramp, we're just internally trying to get our road layer, motorized roads layer up to all the latest information, because I know the South Fork restoration and access management plan, there were some roads that came in, I don't know if it was a year ago, that were found and added to the process, but that same thing, there were some additional roads that were out there that weren't in our database that need to get included, and then we'll re-engage the collaborative, validate that the recommendations from before are still valid with this latest road layer, and then go from there with starting to do the NEPA process on that East Fork Ramp area. Jenny, you got anything I butchered up or said wrong, or?
No, you did it perfectly, and I couldn't add anything, that sounded good.
Okay. Does that help, Larry, or is there something really specific down to a certain trail or a road or something?
No, that helps. I appreciate that. That gives me some answers. Kind of hurry up and wait.
Well, I think one of the issues right now, honestly, with all the coalitions, not just Payette or Big Creek Yellow Pine or any of that, even the Boise National, is we're losing memberships. There's people that are kind of burning out and they're not showing up. And so we've all been in kind of a discussion of all of us getting together and trying to come up with some ideas to get the outside groups more involved in the coalitions and get more attendance at the meetings. So, and then communication is certainly the biggest part of it, I think, and letting folks know that, that they need a meeting here, a meeting there, but it's kind of a slow, agonizing problem right now, David, and it's something we ought to start thinking about, because they do a lot of good when they work.
Yeah, unfortunately, there is this bag of decisions, and then get kind of that partnership money, collaborative nature, and then to go implement. And it takes. It's not everything all at once, too. So it's kind of even like our veg management projects. There's a ramp up, and you engage the public, and then normally there's contracting, and it takes years. And sometimes operators can't get on it right that first year, so they need to have some time. And so that doesn't. I think it's in a lot of our projects that are long term, larger scale, multi-year. It can be a little tougher on those collaborative groups for sure. And this one, I know Big Creek Yellow Pine Collaborative. I mean, it's those 3 different project areas. I mean, that's just added to, I'm sure, that time for that group for sure. And I know there's a lot of people want to see them implemented.
Well, appreciate you coming on and talking to us and introducing yourself, and we're looking forward to working with you.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything?
I did get.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I'm gonna try to do this monthly with you guys until you tell me, don't do it too much. I mean, if that works for you. So I've already got on the schedule. I think it's in March, if I'm not mistaken there, Doug, that I got a day already there on you guys' schedule too.
Yeah, Jake usually comes in at least once every month or every other month and kind of gives us an update too, and that's good.
Okay.
It's great.
Okay, we're up to all do that,
Thanks, Jenny, for
And I
joining
just have a
us.
couple, yes, yeah, I just have a couple more updates for two other things, if that's all right.
Sure.
Since I have you. So I just wanted to let you know, so I sent earlier, gosh, a month ago, the range policy update. And I think the comment period was February. It's been extended to April 17th, and I don't know if you all have any questions on that. And then the other update is that this spring, we will likely be implementing some of our prescribed fire projects in Bear Basin area, one at West Base and then one over by the golf course to do some essentially wildland urban interface veg treatments and prescribed fire. And I'll tell you any more on that when we get closer to that, but I just wanted to give you a heads up on those.
Jenny, do you know on the range thing, did you notify all the permittees that they have a chance to look at this, like Solon's? And I think there's somebody that runs cattle somewhere up there on the east side. Do they get notified of all this stuff too?
Yes, all the race committees got notified, and then the county commissioners all were notified. And in Valley County, we've got Solon and Sheriff who both run out of Valley County for shooting. Those are the allotments that I have on the call district.
Oh, okay, yeah. Peterson doesn't do that anymore?
Not on the call district. I think he's on the Boise.
Yeah, he's down here, you're right, okay. Just as long as those guys got a chance to look at it. And,
Yeah, we sent it out to them also. Yeah.
Great. Okay,
And
David,
that's it for me.
we have you on for March 22nd at 1 o'clock.
Okay, yeah, and I'll probably bring a few more specific project updates like Jenny did today. I mean, I'll have a better feel for the prescribed fire. There's some ongoing things on the South Fork and over by Yellow Pine that have been past years and still doing some more units there for prescribed here, and then I'll start doing that for the next one.
well, that sounds great, man, appreciate that. Anybody have anything else? If not, we'll let you go. Everybody good? Okay, we'll see you in March.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
Thank you.
You bet.
Bye.
Have a great day.
I wonder if they ever got the South Fork all upgraded.
No, I think they still got some work to do. I just was talking to somebody about that. They're not quite done.
Oh, what?
South Fork Road,
Yeah, they're not done.
they have, some of it's tore up pretty good, I guess, but talked to a guy who came out there yesterday and he said he had to chain up, put some weight on his truck because it was pretty
I
slow.
wouldn't drive in there for any, in the winter, summer's one.
That'd be the biggest hell I could
You guys
ever
know where
imagine.
Pittsburgh Saddle is, right?
Huh?
You know where Pittsburgh Saddle is going
Yes.
down to the river? A friend of mine sent me a picture of him chaining up his one ton to pull his 30-foot jet boat down with about, what looked like maybe 6 to 8 inches of snow on that road.
There's not even.
Is that
a
at French
chance.
Creek? The
No,
grade?
it's very similar. It goes from Whitebird up over the pass and
Oh.
drops into Pittsburgh Landing on the Snake River. And
You
it's,
go across the river there, Hoots Cafe.
yeah, about 6,800, 6,800.
That's
feet.
crazy.
I lived in Idaho my whole life and I've never gotten off the main road that goes north. We used to
Okay.
take the old one that was switchbacking, but
Pittsburgh Landing, that road, you're in first gear and standing on the brakes and you still can't get stopped.
It's an experience though, and it's
Oh,
still
man.
something to see. It really is.
Okay, anybody have anything else? If not, I'll adjourn this meeting at 1:25. See everybody next week?
Yeah, it's like overheated. Coming down for